Core Essentials Tactical Gun Belt. Hello everybody. So this is the Core Essentials Tactical Gun Belt. Now they do make a couple of different belts. They make the gun belt, and then they make more of like an EDC dress belt. Their gun belt is the one that they sent me, and it's kind of an interesting story on how I ended up with this belt. So as you guys well know, I shop around a lot, and I had seen some reviews on the Core Essentials belts, I also saw one of their competitors, and I can't remember which one it was, but I saw them on YouTube, and I started looking these things up, and I was like, well, you know, the belt that I have, I kind of like it, and it's worked for me for a long time. So why do I want to go out and spend 55 or 60 bucks on a new belt that, to me, was relatively new to me? Then I ended up at the Tucson Gun Show, and one of Core's direct competitors had a table there, and I was talking to them, and I kept bringing up Core belts. I said, look, dude, I've never heard of you, but I have heard of this company. I've seen a bunch of good reviews on them. What makes you better than these guys? And he gave me a sales pitch, and I said, you know what, I appreciate your time, but I'm not interested. And I went home, of course, after buying some other stuff. I get home. That evening, I got an email from Core asking me if I wanted to T&E, try out, review, whatever you want to call it, one of their tactical gun belts. It was almost weird. It was almost freaky how it happened. And I said, sure, and here we are. Now, as many of you know, or may know, I've been wearing just like a double layer nylon belt with the friction grip, like plastic buckle. You just pull it and it stays tight. And I've used that for a long time. I've often said it's not the stiffest gun belt, but it's also not the flimsiest, and I've always known why extremely stiff gun belts are a good idea. I've had ones that are stiffer, but I've never had one that is this stiff. And I gotta tell you, the stiffer the belt, something that we all know already, but the stiffer the belt, the better. And this is the stiffest one I've ever had, and I absolutely love it. So a couple quick things. It is a steel buckle, nylon outside, nylon webbing outside, some sort of a mesh on the inside. I'm going to put all the stuff for it down below in the description as far as, like, you know, the heavy details. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of stitching, if you can see that. 2 on the very outer edge on each side, and then 2 in the middle. 6 rows of stitching, and it has their proprietary, I think I call it a power core center inside, which makes this thing absolutely, I mean, I'm twisting it as opposed to folding it. This thing is ultra stiff. Now, as I'm sure you've seen before, it runs off of this system here with the teeth, 1/4 inch increments as opposed to the holes. You can hear it, right? As opposed to the one hole, I think they're inch spacing, as opposed to holes like that where you always seem to be in the middle. This eliminates that, and it's very easy to adjust. All you do, if you can see it there, see this little switch here, this little button, all you do is pull that up, and you can, right, pull it right out. And that makes it really nice for adjusting, like, say, after a big meal. We all know that feeling. Switching from one gun to another, like maybe you're inside waistband carrying a Glock 19 today, or while you're at work and you go out for dinner, wear this to dinner because it is a nice looking belt as well. And then you can easily adjust it in and out for the type of gun that you're using. Now here's a quick look at the buckle. So this folds in, right? has teeth on it, that way it clamps it in. And then on the gun belt buckles, this is the X5. There's an X1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, I believe. This is the X5 buckle. It has these two screws. They're little Allen head set screws that also go into the belt itself to help attach it. Now, the belt has these marks in it. What are these marks? Those marks are sizes. So, if you've ever ordered a belt online, sometimes the process can be pretty excruciating. Well, I believe core goes from 24 inches all the way out to 52, 30, 29, 28, and then you take 4 inches off. I'll get to that in a second. So that is 24. So it goes out to from 25 to 24 out to 52. All you do is cut it to length and your belt is good to go. Stick it in that end, fold it over. If you have one of these belts, you put those screws down, you're good to go, and you don't have to mess with it again. The reason I said 4 inches is you take your waist, you take what you think it is. So if you have, say, a 32 waist, you add 4 inches, you cut it at 36. What I actually did was I cut it 6 inches long to start with because I wanted to see how it worked out in different pants, because as you well know, different pants have the belt loops in different places. It happened to work out really good for me I cut it at 36 or at 6 inches longer, and eventually cut another inch off to where it is now 5 inches longer than what it needs to be, or than what my pant size is, because it works out real well to catch the tail in various pairs of pants that I have. Now, it does come with a belt loop that you can put on here, just a ring, just a nylon ring that you can keep it. It reminds you sort of a belt keepers from duty belts, and it's sitting down here on the desk. I don't use it because of that reason, because I found the right sweet spot to use the belt loop instead of a keeper. Now, that is about enough out of me right now, standing here talking to you. I've talked too much. Let's go out in the field and see some of the shooting that I've done with it. I got a 17 round mag in here with various ammo. I am wearing the core belt with the Bravo concealment RTT holster. They no longer make this holster. I can't remember. I think they changed it out with something called the BCA or something like that. But I changed to an inside the waistband Harry's holster, and it's this one right here. Love this holster. This is probably the holster I use the most for inside the waistband carry, is this Harry's holster. So let's rock this a little bit. I do move the buckle a little bit to the side when I run something like this, and then of course when I go to full appendix carry, I know I'm a tactical fat body here, so don't mind that. This goes to the other side of the belt loop. Now for full appendix inside the waistband with a spider concealment +1 or mag caddy, whatever you want to call it, but the appendix double rig here. So it is the most uncomfortable, god-awful thing or way to carry I can possibly think of, but I do want to show you that this belt is capable of doing such a thing. And that's about all I wish to carry like this. So they want to be a gun belt. Let's put it through what I consider to be pretty much probably the biggest setup you'd possibly use for a carry belt of this sort. This is more of an EDC belt, but I'm going to put it under some stress with this Bare Arms Big Rig, and of course the Glock 19. So again, this is about as much as I would expect a belt like this to take. I don't think I've ever seen another YouTuber do any videos of rifle mags with these belts, so let's put it through the test. Everybody else does like inside and outside the waistband, some of the basic things like I did earlier. But I really want to put this belt through some weight tests and stuff like that and see how it does under a little bit heavier stress and a little bit heavier load. So let's rock and roll. So a month of wearing this almost every day. I've done a ton of shooting in it. This isn't one that I would say I'm going to put like a drop leg on because I don't think it's made for that. It is made as a tactical gun belt that can double as a nice dress belt, something that you can wear every day, and it doesn't look like you're carrying a gun. I have not a complaint. Actually, I do have one, but it's not that big a deal. It's only a big deal to me, probably not a big deal to everyone. I wish that the belt buckle was made out of a non-ferrous material. That way it didn't affect compasses, but that's it. That's the only, if I had like one reaching down, one complaint to make, that's it. So, Core Essentials Tactical Gun Belt. Absolutely love it. I absolutely suggest, if you're looking for a good EDC belt, to check these out, and I will put a link to Core Essentials website down below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Hit me up on Patreon, patreon.com/RTTGunsGear. I also have rttgunsgear.com, which you can find all kinds of links, affiliate links to Amazon, that stuff that I use all the time. And PayPal. If you want to support the channel, you can always go to PayPal and donate. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you later.